All right, what it do? Welcome to another one for Al Cuerpo Boxing, to the body. So let's get with it. Let's talk some boxing. So last night was doing some work on some motor gear. It's about like 12:30, and I'm like, you know what? It's about time for the main event. And to be honest, I don't know if naive is the word, but I thought the fight was gonna be free as long as you had the zone membership because sorry to say, but I don't recall Fabio Wardley and Joseph Parker being stars so much that we got to do pay per view. And it's ironic because we would make fun of pay per view prices, right, on the PBC world, saying like, why are we paying for Andy Ruiz versus King Kong Ortiz, or Ruiz versus what's his name? Was it Big Baby Miller, or Ruiz versus, no, what was his name? Who was the Mexican cat from Los Angeles? I forgot his name. Oh man. But anyways, it was like about that price range, right? So I'm thinking, damn, you know what? Considering the whole Riyadh season and Turkey Al Sheikh wants all these good fights, and especially like in the heavyweight division, I'm thinking, all right, you know what? The zone's gonna pick this up. As long as I got a zone membership, I'm gonna watch the fight for free. Anyways, long story short, I couldn't watch the fight. I was not gonna pay no 25 quid up to $30 just to watch the fight. Hell no. I was like, it's sad, man, but definitely the fight should have been free, man. It should have been on the house. And anyway, so I woke up, and to my surprise, I'm like, damn, Wardley won by knockout or stoppage, right? So I'm like, damn, I definitely, and at that time, I didn't even bother to watch the highlights just yet. I had tuned into on some boxing channels. Actually tuned into Punch Drunk's channel because he was on in my morning time, so it was practical for me. Wasn't really talking much about that fight, but anyways, about after an hour from that stream, I was listening in a bit. It was a pretty good stream. Go ahead and check out Punch Drunk Boxing's channel, the Latino cat. Go ahead and support his channel. Go and sub to that. So, anyways, I got to watching the highlights of Wardley and Park, and I was impressed. I like some of the combinations that Wardley was doing. The uppercut followed up with that left hook. Just some pretty good work from Wardley. And just watching the highlights alone, it looked to me like neck to neck. And of course, I did see Parker become more aggressive in the second half of the fight, or I guess anywhere after the third and fourth rounds. So the fight looked good to me. But one thing I noticed is that Parker was playing a bit too much of daring rope-a-dope games on the ropes, obviously. Sometimes I'm down for that. I like rope-a-dope myself personally. And by the way, rope-a-dope is not exclusive to Ali's style. It just means like playing on the ropes. That's pretty much what rope-a-dope means. Playing on the ropes. And so Parker gambled on that. And a lot of times, remember, it's good to play rope-a-dope because you can tire your opponent out. Your opponent's trying to go for the kills, trying to stop you. But if you know rope-a-dope very well, the ropes itself, they absorb power shots. If you know how to lean back on the ropes properly, it's really, really good advantage to play rope-a-dope in any time in a fight. So I think that's what Parker was trying to do, trying to tire out Wardley. And then lo and behold, I forgot what round. Was it the 11th or 10th? I'm sorry, I forgot. But it was like the later rounds. I could see the ref jumping in, and to be fair, Wardley wasn't even landing on those last two blows. I think Wardley followed up with like a left hook that it smashed, Parker's guard. It smashed it, at the same time Parker's playing rope up. So it may seem to the ref that Parker got touched in that last left hook. But in that sequence, in that situation, Parker wasn't really in trouble. Yeah, Parker got hurt in the fight. I mean, from what I saw, Wardley got hurt a couple of times too. Yeah, that's boxing, man. That's heavyweight boxing. So when I saw it, even before Parker, I could see Parker's mannerism. He's like, "Yo, ref, what you doing?" Like he got upset because the ref stopped the fight. He shouldn't have stopped it, in my opinion. And I'll get to the main thing, or I'll close it out. But yeah, so the ref was I guess trying to protect Parker, or who knows, maybe the ref was more pro Wardley. Hey man, these funny things happen in boxing. It's hard to know. The discretion's to the ref. But I think it was a bad call. Parker could have kept on fighting. Now, what I'll get at is that given these circumstances, I think there's going to be a rematch, and there should be a rematch because the fight looked close. And then looking at the summary, what other writers or what other fans are saying is that Parker was winning on the cards, so that itself, and Parker should be more vocal in wanting a rematch. I think Wardley should give Parker the rematch. If it was that good of a fight, the fans deserve the rematch, and those two got to go back at it. I mean, look at the replay, look at the slow motion. Maybe Wardley will have some empathy and acknowledge that it was a bad call, and we'll see if Frank Warren can do that rematch. You know, but just let that be a lesson learned that sometimes you gotta be careful when you're gambling on rope a dope. You gotta be careful, especially depending on where you're fighting, who who is who are the judges and the broadcast team, who are they leaning more towards to win, right? To pass the torch to the new ones, to the young guns. You got to be careful in that situation, you know. And therefore, Parker, in my opinion, in the rematch, forget rope-a-dope, man. Just go old school and use more of the jab. I saw that Parker was trying to headhunt a lot of you know, overhand rights, right crosses, but he kept on missing. And I saw a lot of opportunities for Parker to just, go to the body, man. Go to Wardley's body. If you're loading up that much to try and hit, if you're trying to headhunt Wardley so much, you might as well put that effort and put some combination exhaust first to the body and then follow up to the top. That's what Parker needs to do on the adjustments in the rematch, and hopefully Parker and Andy Lee will be more vocal to want that rematch. So that's what I got on this one. The next one, I'm going to talk a bit about the aftermath of Canelo Crawford again, why we still need the classical rematch, and I also want to talk a bit about Marvin Hagler, because Marvin Hagler, in my opinion, is very um, he's a gem, or I should say, an important context when talking about Canelo Crawford, particularly because of Sugar Ray versus Hagler. All right, so tune into that one for my next video for Al Cuerpo Boxing to the Body, and I'll catch you on my next vid, man. Peace.